So I've successfully picked up Eddie from the airport, and the car has not broke down on us. So we found this little parking lot here to do the B-roll shots and stuff. So Eddie's just doing his thing with the gimbal and stuff. And so far so good. The car has had some messages come up while he was driving it, but I don't know. We'll see how the review goes. Definitely a little bit nerve-wracking. Having a good time, except it's really, really hot. Let's see, it's gotta be at least like 85 right now. It's 82. Yeah, so far so good.
2 hours later.
Oh God. All right, this has turned into an absolute disaster. The M5 broke down on Eddie while he was doing the review. He dropped me off to get something to eat, and he calls me. Okay, can you like not be blurry?
It's like a sensor type of thing.
Shiraz came to the rescue.
Stop, I look bad. Hold on, let me put on my sunglasses.
Oh my God. So the car was in the middle over there. She helped steer and got the car off the road. So now, we've disconnected the battery to see if we can get the car into gear. Or start it, I should say.
Right now, the thing is it's not cranking at all. There's no noise when you hit it. It's got power. It pulled that transmission warning thing again, and then it popped the check engine light, but it doesn't say what the check engine light's for. I don't know what the CL's for. And now it won't start. 120,000 mile M5.
This is the experience you get.
This is the ownership experience.
This is a disaster. How are you gonna say it's not a disaster when you're not?
It's not a disaster.
Buy a Lexus, it'll run forever.
It will.
Yeah.
Burn. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm getting it. Is it IS250 or IS350?
IS250.
I'm getting a 250 next after this experience. Okay, so here's what it's doing. Press the start. And at this point it's supposed to start, but it doesn't. Basically, you should be able to put this into gear. But it's stuck. It's stuck in neutral. The car is telling it not to come out at neutral, and it's supposed to be in neutral in order to start, but it's just not. Okay, so Eddie and Shiraz is taking Eddie back to the airport.
I have to go to Germany, I'm sorry.
He's going to Germany, his flight's at 5, and it's what, like 3?
3. I feel bad for abandoning you, but...
Well, it's been fun meeting Eddie. This is how it turned out. Unfortunately, the car kind of dampened the experience.
We got 2 good videos.
Yeah, and it was great to meet you.
Yes, definitely. You'll get it back running again. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, definitely will.
It's got to be something electrical, some sensor, some code, because it threw a code with the transmission while we were driving earlier, just in regular drive. So.
Right.
And I have a feeling that's because it's not clicking and nothing, no noise. I don't think a starter motor can just poop itself
It's
like
so
immediately.
Weird, yeah. When it's fixed, I'm gonna drive to Michigan and Eddie's gonna review.
I'll come down south again.
Right. But dude, thanks a lot.
No problem.
Left-handed shake, sorry. So here are the codes, which I disconnected the battery, so the set time and date. The park distance, that's from the accident when the parking sensors are bad, as well as the restraint system malfunction and the dynamic damping control malfunction. So actually right now we're not getting that transmission error that was coming up while we were driving. So, which you would think would make the car start because there's not an error. That's simply not the case. So I take my foot off the brake and turn it off. And we wait. I wait.
2 hours later.
Corey.
SMG supply voltage vehicle control. See, okay.
How many faults did you say I had?
67.
Holy.
Dude, it's normal. It's all because of battery. Brand new battery.
Why not make it 69 at that point? I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. But you said it's just because the battery's new.
No, it's because you had, your battery was. So
and all the codes came up. All right. We'll see. He's gonna clear them. Hopefully, we can get this car started.
Day 2. A few inches later.
If my son was stranded or my wife was stranded, I'd want somebody to help them out. You got something? Call my sheriff. No, here you go. I'm not taking the money. Why not? I'm not taking the money.
So as you just saw, we weren't able to get the car started. Big thanks to Zach for letting me use his car trailer to get the car back home, and a huge thanks to Corey for coming all the way down. I didn't even ask him to. Him and I were just texting throughout the day. He's like, hey, how's the car doing? I told him, well, it just left me stranded, so I'm gonna have to get it towed. He's like, no, I'll come down. He drove like an hour and a half to come and try and clear the codes, which he cleared them all except for 4. And the 4 remaining codes were just accident related, their airbags and stuff like that. Nothing that should make the car not start or anything transmission related. So that was a little weird and definitely unfortunate. So as you guys know, I wrecked the car back in December. That was 6 months ago, which I can't believe it's been that long. And Eddie texted me back in January. He was like, hey man, I've got a flight that stops in Atlanta for a couple hours in May. You want to get together? And I told him I just wrecked the car, but it'll definitely be done by May. Him and I have been trying to get my car on his channel for like 3 years now, but him living in Michigan, our schedules, the distance, obviously we can never get him to link up. But I've been a big fan of his and always wanted to get my car on his channel. If you haven't seen his channel, I'll put it in the description. Excellent quality reviews, great guy, very knowledgeable, just a really cool guy overall. It was a lot of fun meeting him. So, but unfortunately, I never really had the chance to go through the car before I got it. I got it back like 12 hours before Eddie's arrival. And it was a really stressful last couple weeks because like 3 weeks before his arrival, the car wasn't painted. And I had no idea how the car drove. I was fine. I knew the car would be fine mechanically. I mean, I guess not, but I was mainly worried about the suspension from it wrecking. I was worried about maybe, a bad vibration or like just how it drove. Thinking like, what if I have to replace a control arm or like bushings? To my surprise, I was able to drive the car like a week before Eddie's arrival and everything was fine. The car drove straight, no vibrations, no shaking. Everything was cool. I did have to replace the battery. The battery is pretty old to begin with. I've had the car for 3 years and never had to replace it. And so, as you guys know, or may know, BMWs, when they drop in voltage due to a bad battery, you get a ton of codes and everything kind of freaks out. And that was the issue with picking up the car so late. I never had the opportunity to clear any of the codes or just even look at the car to make sure it was ready for Eddie. Because as soon as I got the car back, I got it at like 2 a.m. on Friday, and I had to be at the airport at Saturday at 10. So I got up at 7, and the main thing was just making sure, well, obviously the car had oil, but that the interior was clean and ready for the video. Unfortunately, I forgot about the seat belts. You'll see in one of Eddie's video and mine. He's got a video of us talking about the ownership experience, and the seatbelt across my chest is just covered in like dust and I guess mold. As I said in my last video, there was water getting through the windshield, and then obviously all the dust from the sanding and stuff, because the doors had to be replaced and just so much crap got in the interior. And it's a shame because the interior of that car was like a 9 out of 10 before the accident, and now it's probably like a 5 out of 10 because that white leather just kind of absorbed everything and it just looks bad. I'll show you guys obviously later. But yeah, so the car ran fine from my house down to the airport. It was like an hour drive. I was so happy to finally have it back. It was so fun and exciting. And then as soon as I pick up Eddie, I'm like, all right man, you want to go ahead and start driving it and just getting used to it and get a feel for it. The transmission malfunction light comes on, which made the car go from being able to shift with the paddles to it into like a fully drive automatic mode where you can't shift at all. And that setting, automatic mode, is just dumb because it's like it'll upshift for no reason. Like obviously you would just rather drive a car like that, like with the paddles or just being able to shift yourself. So I was so embarrassed deep down. I was like, dude, there's no way this is happening to me. I was like, just pull over, turn the car off, and turn it back on, and maybe it'll go away. And it did, thank God. So we kept driving around for like 2 hours. We were doing the ownership experience video and then my video where I was kind of interviewing him and just asking him questions. And everything was fine. I mean, the code came back maybe 3 or 4 times and I had to turn it off and back on, but it was fine. And then I hadn't eaten in like 2 days, so I was like, man, when you do your review, like just drop me off. That way I'm out of your way and I get to eat. And like 15 minutes after dropping me off, he's like, dude, I shut the car off at a light to try and get rid of the code, and now it's not starting. So big thanks to Shiraz. Shiraz was on her way regardless because we were going to get like rolling shots of the car and just nice footage of it. And but she was still like 30-40 minutes away, so unfortunately Eddie had to wait like 40 minutes for her to come pick me up and then for us to go to him. and I felt so bad for Eddie. I didn't apologize in the video, unfortunately, but in person I was extremely apologetic. I was so embarrassed, and I felt so bad just for the whole situation. Very embarrassing, especially because in his video I said the car's been great for me. It's literally, I think I literally said it's never left me stranded or never seen a tow truck, and then like an hour later, here's what happens. He's like, yeah, okay, dude. It's just really embarrassing, but you know, I'm not sure if I'm willing to bet it's not necessarily the car's fault. I think with the car sitting for 6 months and me not having the opportunity to really go through it after the accident, it might be something like that. And so I don't want to blame the M5 just yet, although my M3 right now is also broke down in my driveway. Not having the best of luck here with BMWs right now. Obviously I'll do a video on what it ends up being. Corey and I are going to try to fix it ourselves, but I'm willing to bet it's not something M5 related, because that car mechanically has been perfect for me. The SMG pump was replaced at 80,000 miles. As you guys know, I did the rod bearings. I mean, mechanically the car's been great. Anyways, so yeah, big thanks to Corey, big thanks to Shiraz, and a big thanks to Eddie for making time during the delay between the flights to come and review the car. And it's too bad that it turned out like this. I don't even know if he's going to post the review. He's in Germany, so I don't want to text him, but you know, it literally broke down in the middle of the review. I'm not sure if he's going to finish it and just kind of explain what happened, or if he's not going to post it at all. We'll see. And then thanks to you guys for watching and keeping me motivated to make these videos and to try and get the car back on the road. Obviously I'll make a video of the whole accident, as far as like the process and getting it back, how much it ended up being and how it looks. As you guys see in the video, it looks good, but I'll show the interior and just the car better overall, because I never even got to take any pictures since I got it back. And it looks great though. Donnie did a great job over at Perfect Body. That Interlagos blue is popping. I'm really excited. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks again. Take care.